These are just a few selected verses from the Katha Upanishad. Immortality is union with God. The good is one thing, the pleasant is another. They that choose the pleasant miss the goal. The self-existent made the senses turn outward. Accordingly, we look towards the outside for everything we need and not seeing what is within. Rare are they who shut their eyes and their ears. Rare are they who look within to behold the self. What is within us is also without, and what is on the outside is also on the inside. He who sees a difference between them goes from death to death, dying forevermore. The immortal self is the sun shining, the breeze blowing, the candle burning, the guest dwelling in the house. The following selected verses are from the Isha Upanishad. Life in the world and life in the spirit are not incompatible. Work and action is not contrary to the knowledge of God. But indeed, if work is performed without attachment, it becomes a means to knowing God. Renunciation is not of life, but of selfishness. It's renunciation of the ego. Work with earnestness and work without desire, not yearning to taste its fruits. For in the heart of all things dwells God. He alone is the only reality. Taste, touch, and see only that. To darkness are they doomed who devote themselves only to life in the world, and to greater darkness they who devote themselves only to meditation. He who sees God in all beings hates none. For him who sees oneness everywhere, how can there be delusion or grief? The following selected passages are from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Man, in his ignorance, identifies himself with the material sheaths which encompass his true self. Transcending these, he becomes one with God, who is pure bliss. There's the physical sheath, made of food and earth, the vital sheath, made of breath and water, the mental sheath, made of air, the intellectual sheath, made of fire, and the egoic sheath, the sense of separateness. So long as there is the least idea of separation from God, there is fear. Until then, God appears as fear itself. Let a man meditate upon the divine as support, and he will be supported. Let him meditate upon the divine as being greatness, and he shall become great. Let him meditate upon the divine as love, and he will become more loving. Let him meditate upon the divine as the divine, and he shall become divine. Now these verses, these little selections, are from the Aitareya Upanishad. God, source, sustenance, and end of the universe, partake of every phase of existence. God wakes with the awakening man, dreams with the dreamer, and sleeps the sleep, the deep sleep of the dreamless sleeper. But he transcends these three states of consciousness to become himself, his true nature, consciousness itself. At the beginning of creation, the self, all one, thought, "Let me send forth the worlds. Let me send forth their guardians. Let me enter into the guardians." This way he became many individual beings. Now, therefore, if any individual awakens from his threefold dream of waking, dreaming, or even dreamless sleep, if he wakes from these, he sees his truest self, God dwelling within the lotus of his heart, and he proclaims, "I know." These next few lines are from the Chandogya Upanishad. As one not knowing that a golden treasure lies buried beneath his feet, may walk over it again and again, and yet never find it, so all beings live every moment in the kingdom of God, yet never find him, because of the veil of illusion by which he is concealed. God, or your highest, truest self, resides within the heart. Knowing this, and devoted to communion with him, the sage enters daily into that holy sanctuary of self. She who learns about her true self and realizes its oneness with God obtains all the worlds and fulfills all her desires.